Hello, Bl'Artagnan here with a should you pull for Porom LD. I'll be going over the character's upgrades, sharing my thoughts as to her value, and I'll do it all in less than 4 minutes because that's how long this royalty-free music lasts. Before we begin, be sure to hit that like button and the subscribe button if you haven't already. Really appreciate it. And leave a comment below about what you think about Porom. If you don't like it, leave a dislike. Leave a comment sharing to me about what I could be doing better. I'm sure I could use the ego check. So, let's get into it. Porom LD, she's not getting a rework. We can live with that, we don't need it. But the LD looks pretty good. Gives her some meaty overflow auras, increases the party's total HP, adds some HP regen, and party-wide last stand, which is neat. She also gets Brave Gain up by 20%, which is pretty important. I'll talk about that in a sec. And a follow-up attack that gravities the enemy based on her HP and deals split HP damage based on the party's total HP, which is a pretty neat way to keep her damage flowing, even though she normally is, battery, HP attack better. She has a kind of inefficient kit otherwise, so that's nice. So what do I think about Porom? I'm going to tell you right now, I'm skipping Porom because, frankly, child labor is immoral. It's the same reason I skipped Palom. I would have skipped Vivi, but Vivi's not technically a child. It's complicated. But anyway, so moralizing aside, I can assume you guys are all immoral meta sheep, so I'll go ahead and skip that. Porom's going to be good in Lufenia Plus. People are talking about that a lot. She's not going to be that exciting in immediate upcoming content because she's just a good support. If you like Porom, you're going to probably like using her more. She's going to be better. Quite a bit better, I think. But I don't think she's necessary to clear content. Again, for the immediate future. Lufenia Plus is going to be an interesting story because people are painting it like some boogeyman because the reductions get more intense, and having a character like Porom who increases your brave gains when they start reducing your brave gains to kind of balance that, it's going to be good to have. It's not necessary to clear content. For one thing, you can use Setzer or other brave damage stuff to get around it, or you could use Yishola, who's getting brave gain up on her BT plus when she comes out of the start of BT plus. And there are ways around it, so it's important to understand the difference between unit viability and unit necessity. Porom's going to be viable in Lufenia Plus and helpful, and she will stay that way to this day, as I understand it. But she's not necessary to get you there. So it comes down to whether you enjoy using her and whether you want to use her. And to a lesser degree, if you're a newer player, whether you need that slot in your roster and you don't have it right now. Because if you need her, she's probably one of the better defensive supports we have. I personally like my supports to have a bit more teeth to them. She has a lot less in the way of damage facilitation than most of the supports we have. Not brave damage or HP damage up or her own personal damage, things like that. Not really there, but her defensive stuff is outstanding. So it really comes down to a playstyle thing, because if you like playing battery-heavy teams with a lot of defensive kind of security, she's going to do you just fine. In fact, she's more than fine. She's going to be very good for you. But if that's not really your bag, you're not going to suffer that much by skipping her, I think. I think you'll survive it. You may need to make some concessions in other areas, like, for instance, pulling Setzer is the thing I'd point to. But I don't think you would suffer as much as some people might paint it out to be. I assume you're still going to pull for her because, as I mentioned, you're definitely an immoral meta sheep because you're listening to a should you pull. But I'm not going to cast judgments about whether or not you're a bad person for doing that. Child labor is wrong, though. And so is that.